Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. Rise and shine, rise and shine. I'm super excited about this morning's talk. Man, this is going to be one for the record books. And so it's launch day for my friend. And I'm telling you guys, what you're about to hear is going to bless your life. Do me a favor, though. If you're on Facebook, share. Say Coach Ricardo Miller is live this morning, and he wants the world to hear about this conversation. And if you're on YouTube, subscribe to our channel. Know that, listen, every day we're providing content like this where we're challenging people to remember the lifestyle they promised themselves. Remind yourself that you are created to live life at a higher level. This morning, I'm joined with a distinguished gentleman, Maxwell Sands. How are you doing this morning?
Good morning, Coach, and I'm doing great. Good morning, Bahamas. Good morning, America. Good morning, world.
I know you're right, man. I know you're right. Exciting things are happening because today is the official launch day of your new book. But before we dive into your book, if you guys are watching, I need you to do me a favor, man. Share. Maxwell, tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell our viewing audience. They want to know, who is this guy Ricardo Miller has on? And I see you and I are matching ties this morning.
Well, believe it or not just matching ties.
Yeah.
My middle name is Ricardo.
Oh, come on now.
So there you go. But like I say, a little bit about myself.
Yeah.
Like I say, I'm Maxwell Ricardo Jones, son of Johnny and Bernice Jones, a taxi driver and straw vendor.
Wow.
Right? Came from humble beginnings, but I am blessed. Wow. I was born and raised in Grand Bahama, the Bahamas. Yeah. Currently lives in Nassau. And I currently work as the vice president for accounts control for the largest Bahamian-owned bank in the country. Yeah. Right? But for me, I love meeting people. Yeah. I love helping people, help them to achieve their dreams. And that's in life or in business. And I thank God I have the support of my lovely wife, Pandora, and my 4 children, who most of them are watching. Yeah. And I just thank God to be here.
Man, listen, I'm so excited about what God's doing in your life. You're a man of faith. You serve in leadership at your church. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yes. Well, currently I am the Assistant National Director for the Bahamas for Church of God of Prophecy, the men's ministry, the Assistant National Director. I am also on the evangelism team and part of the Sunday school. But, you know, God has been good to me, and He has blessed me.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Let's dive into our talk. Ladies and gentlemen, Maxwell R. Sands. That R is also for Ricardo. Did y'all hear it just a while ago?
Maxwell Ricardo Jones. Maxwell Ricardo Jones.
Jones. Yes. Sorry. So, Mr. Jones, let's dive into our talk and deal with the power within. You know, it is so important. It is so important for people to understand that there's so much more on the inside of them, and to accept the greatness within is obviously something your parents have taught you with humble beginnings. You made a commitment to educate yourself. You made a commitment to not only educate yourself, but engage yourself in connecting with the Creator, who in turn helped you to highlight the potential that's within inside of you. And then you decided, I'm going to give back. Okay, I'm going to give back. So Mr. Jones, now that you are where you are, what's your view on the power within that oftentimes go on, you know, it just doesn't give people don't give it the attention that it needs, the power within. Talk to us about it.
Well, Coach, and the listening audience, I want to say something that may sound like a cliche, but it's not. Nevertheless, I'm going to say it and then explain why. You may have heard it before. The power within you is greater than any force outside of you. Now, that sounds like a cliche, but let me explain. The good Lord above, He has reserved it whereby there's only two people who have more control over your destiny than anyone else. God Himself and you. When you listen, your boss can fire you tomorrow, can fire you today. But watch this. Your boss may determine how far you go in that company, but they don't necessarily determine how far you go in life.
Wow, that's good.
You with me?
Yep.
Listen, your boss may be a powerful person and can possibly influence how far you go in the industry and even the region. But that they don't have the power to control how far you go in life. That lies within you. Okay. So once you realize that the greater force is within you, you have to then believe that you are here for a purpose, and you have to believe that the heavens above, God Himself, will back you and when you are pursuing that purpose. So to pursue your goals, pursue your dreams, it got to first start within you, and there's no other force. Yes, man is powerful. Yes, man can cause some delays,
yes,
but they can ultimately not cause no denial. Yes. That's up to you. And God has reserved, He has fixed it, whereby only you can really determine how far you go.
Man, listen, I like that message so much. I believe in it so much. Long time ago, when I initially started this thing, I started there on the streets of New Providence. More specifically, I started with a children's program in the Montel Heights area. I don't know if you remember. You probably may not be familiar with you may be on the other side, not the. You don't know Washington Street. Are you familiar with the Child Vincent Street area, the Grove, the Anglican area? I was doing a children's program in that area, and I remember. I had to take responsibility for my life. A good friend of mine said to me, he says, life is 10% of what happens to you and 90% of how you respond to it.
Amen.
And it was in that moment that I realized, just as you mentioned, my boss does not determine how far I go in life. And that if I would tap into, the greatness within, that there would be so much more that can come forth from my life.
And that is so true. Coach, how many times you've heard persons talk about or testify, give their personal life story of major setbacks, right? They have to overcome major hurdles, yet they made it. If I had time, I can tell you about some of my personal challenges, and yet how I then had to overcome. But we have to know, we have to believe that the power within you is greater than any other force outside of you.
Yes.
And it's up to you.
It's up to you. If you're watching this morning, I am joined this morning with Maxwell Jones, and his middle name is Ricardo. Initially, I said Sans I messed up the last name, but it's Maxwell Ricardo Jones, R. Jones, and I'm excited that he wrote a book. This book is releasing today on the island. If you're in the Bahamas, and a lot of you guys, the Bahamas is our second largest audience grouping that watches my lives. And so if you're in the Bahamas and you're watching this, you're going to need to get the book. Now, tell us a little bit about your book, Maximum Me. Why?
Thank you. Well, Maximum Me, believe it or not, when I first started writing the book, I was going to call it "Life is Designed for All of Your Dreams to Come True." Mm-hmm. Right? And then I went a little deeper and recognized, in order to do that, it has to again start with you, as we just talked about.
Yeah.
So when you look at Maximum Me, basically, it was written to help the public recognize how they can get from their potential to success. All of us have that great potential in us. We have greatness in us. And the book has about 5 keywords that we call the maximum formula that helps you to recognize how to get from potential to success.
You know, with that, I love the fact that you have a formula, and I'm a strong believer that success in life requires a formula, and I believe that you have to be intentional. I think we have to be very strategic in how we show up on a daily basis, because at the end of the day, you know what, there is no shortage of opportunities being presented to humanity. I mean, I've traveled a lot, and one of the things that I've discovered, Mr. Jones, is that someone is succeeding in every environment. Someone is succeeding in every environment, and someone has succeeded from the worst of school system, worst neighborhoods, what they would call some of the worst countries, or
Tell me about
most challenged countries. Someone decided, I'm going to defy the odds. Let's talk about that for a moment. Let's talk about what you have discovered, what I've discovered, maybe what everybody's discovered to be the greatest hindrance to someone's potential being maximized.
Coach, that is probably the most important question that one can ask when it comes to your dreams. And just for the listening audience, I want just to repeat that question again, because it's a very powerful question. I want to probably spend a few minutes right here. Because this is key. What is the greatest hindrance to people recognizing their dreams or fulfilling it? If you had asked me that question a few years back, I, like most persons today, would have probably said fear. But over the years, I realized it is not so much fear, even though I'm not saying that they're wrong. But fear is the symptom, not the disease. The greatest hindrance to you achieving your goals, you achieving your dreams, is what I call the lack of faith. Now, your belief system. And when I say that, I don't mean that you don't have faith. I'm saying to you, as your faith increases, fear disappears. Yes, they will say that fear will paralyze you and cause you not to act. But when you truly believe, remember this phrase, true belief calls for action. True belief calls for action. Let me just give a popular story for a moment. The story is told of Jesus who's walking on the water with their disciples. And when they saw him, they thought he was a ghost. And Peter said, Lord, if that is you, bid me to come. Now, the 12 in the boat may have believed or say they believed that was him. But Peter's firm belief caused him to step out of the boat. When you were created, there is a greatness of purpose put in you, right? When you have a vision of that and you truly believe that, yes, there may be some apprehension, but the strong belief and the vision will create love and passion. And despite the challenges, despite the naysayers, you are going to pursue that. What is the greatest hindrance? Belief. Let me tell you a short story that I often say when I have seminars and emphasize the point on belief. Listen carefully for a few minutes. Just talking about the power of belief now.
Go for it.
The story is told of 4 Middle Eastern travelers in the old days traveling across the desert. It was 3 experienced travelers and 1 inexperienced traveler. This was an overnight trip. So they was on their camels, they had their tents, and when night came on the journey, they pitched their tent and went to bed. The inexperienced traveler, however, forgot his rope. So he pitched his tent, but he could not tie the camel to the tent because he did not have his rope, and he feared that the camel will wander away at night. So what did he do? He stood there and he held the camel because he did not want the camel to walk away. One of the older travelers woke up during the night and said to him, "What are you doing out here?" He said, I forgot my rope and I don't want my camel to wander away. He gave the young man some advice. After struggling with it for a while, the young man took the advice and went to bed. The next morning, the camel was right there. What is your question to me? What is your question to me, Rick?
Oh, the question is the greatest hindrance.
Yes. No, I'm saying he gave him the older traveler gave the young man some advice.
Yep.
He struggled with it, took the advice,
yep,
and then went to bed.
Yep.
The next morning, the camel was right there.
Yep.
What was the advice he gave them?
Yeah.
He gave him?
What was it?
He said to him, talking about the power of belief now.
Yep. Yep.
Go to the camel.
Yeah.
Take an imaginary rope. Put it around his neck. Tie it. Let him see you doing it.
Yeah.
Take the other end of the imaginary rope. Take an imaginary stake.
Yeah.
Take an imaginary hammer and nail it in the ground. Tie an imaginary rope around the imaginary stake and go to bed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Next morning they got up. The three experienced travelers packed up their tent, went on the camel, and drove away.
Yeah.
The inexperienced traveler packed up his tent, went on the camel, and started to move. The camel would not go.
Yeah.
He kicked the camel would not move. He beat the camel would not move. When the old man saw that he was going to probably kill the camel, he got down off his camel, went to the camel, the young man's camel, loosed the imaginary rope from around his neck, pulled up the imaginary stake, and off the camel went.
Yes.
I ask you, was the camel tied?
Well, in his mind he was.
He believed.
Yep.
He believed he was tied.
Yep.
Your belief.
Yep.
Your belief is so powerful.
Yep.
And I'll get to that probably in another minute. But your belief is powerful. So it's not so much fear, even though fear is more or less like the byproduct of the lack of belief.
Yeah.
But it's your belief that's the greatest hindrance. Believe strong, have faith, and act on that.
Have faith and act on that. I love that story, man. What a story. And the reality of it is there are so many people that are locked in at that particular place.
Sorry, can you repeat it? It went a little lower just now.
Okay, I said there are so many people that find themselves not understanding the power of belief, that struggle with that lack of understanding in regards to belief.
Yes. Let me just expand a little bit more on belief. In the book, Maxwell, there's 5 keywords. You call it your formula for success.
Yeah.
5 words are belief, vision, attitude, performance, results.
Wow.
Belief, vision, attitude, performance, results. And it says this, coach, everything starts off with your belief system.
Yes.
Your belief affects your vision, how you see things. Your vision affects your attitude, how you approach things.
Yes.
Your attitude affects your performance, how you execute it, and your performance is going to determine the level of your success or your results.
Wow.
Say it with me. Say it with me. Your belief affects your vision.
Affects your vision.
How you see things.
How you see things.
Your vision affects your attitude, how you approach things.
Your vision affects your attitude, how you approach things.
And your attitude affects your performance, how you execute it.
And your attitude affects your performance, how you execute it.
And your performance is going to determine the level of your success, or some people would say use the word result.
Yeah.
One quick example. I am a banker. Eh? Watch this now. If you walk through my door as a banker, and I believe that you are a crook, if I believe that you are dishonest, how am I going to see you? My belief can affect my vision. Right. I will see you as what we call a crook in the Bahamas.
Yes.
Right? So I believe it. I then see you as that.
Yep.
So how's my attitude towards you going to be?
It's going to adjust.
I'm going to approach you like,
Yep.
And then my performance or my behavior towards you is going to come out.
Yep.
And what's going to be the result? You may be an excellent customer that we can make some good money on.
Yep.
And while helping you, but because of my poor attitude and my poor performance, I lose you as a customer.
Wow.
Your belief affects everything.
Your belief affects everything. Ladies and gentlemen, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yes, and I just want to reiterate: your belief affects your vision,
Yep.
how you see things. Your vision affects your attitude,
Yep.
how you approach things. Your attitude affects your performance, how you execute it, and your performance determines the level of your success. So if if you're not getting the results that you want, check your performance.
Wow.
If your performance is not to the level you want, check your attitude, your approach. Right? The attitude is key. It talks about are you prepared to do what it takes for as long as it takes. Your belief serves as an anchor when things get rough.
Yeah.
That when it looks like it's not going to come to fruition, you got to still hold fast on that belief. That serves as an anchor when storms come. Man, I'm excited, and we almost out of time. So let me.
Oh man, Mr. Jones is rolling, boy. He's giving it today. Now y'all know. I'm telling you, you got to get the book. You got to get the book because, man, listen, I like that right there. I'm going to go back and watch and write that down when we're done. I was going to ask you the question, what kept you going in the midst of a pandemic? But I must say, clearly you just highlighted, but go ahead. People have shut down. There are a lot of people who decided not to go forward and progress because we're in a global pandemic. Their minds have been influenced like that camel, and they don't want to move. But what kept you going in the midst of it? Obviously, your attitude, but expound on how you feel you want to answer that question.
And I mean, Coach, man, you are loaded with excellent questions. Yeah. And you alluded to it a few minutes ago. You talked about the mind. Yeah. Here's what I recognized during the pandemic. And I want to say the word season. Yeah. Seasons. Nothing lasts forever. There will be good times. There will be bad times. So in the times of great disaster or great challenges, there's also great opportunity.
Yes.
When you have great challenges, you have great opportunity. That's the balance of life.
Yes.
Listen, for the last, in 2020, basically the whole world came to a halt, hey?
Yep.
But I noticed that prior to 2020, I mean, I was extremely busy. Yep. I started this book probably over 10 years ago.
Wow, yeah.
And because I'm working and I have so many other things, I keep just touching it, but never really get to focus on it. Yet in the pandemic, that last year, when things got so bad, and we had lockdown in the Bahamas, curfews, probably all over the world.
Yes.
Let's agree, that gave you a lot of time to be at home.
Yes.
And I say, how do I use this time productively, knowing that the season is going to change again? What am I saying? When you go through the wilderness experience, when you're having the difficult times, when in times of great disaster or great setback, prepare yourself and be ready for when the change comes. Because just like winter, summer, spring, fall is not going to last forever. The bad time, the hard time is not going to last forever. I say to you, those folks who are unemployed, those folks who basically do not have much to do at this time. Use this time to invest in yourself. Use this time to find new creative ideas how you can survive. And you will see that even though things are rough now, if you invest now, if you prepare now, you stand a very good chance of coming out.
Oh man, listen, that is such a strong point. Thank you for challenging our viewing audience. Today, ladies and gentlemen, I'm joined with Maxwell Jones, and we're talking about his new book, Maximum Me. And the reality of it is at the end of the day, we all should be in pursuit of becoming the best version of ourselves and maxing it out to the fullest. Tell us, Mr. Jones, if someone buying that book today, I know it hit bookstores there in the Bahamas today, what do you believe they're going to get out of this book?
Listen, I sincerely believe, Coach, that when you get this book and you study the formula, you study the principles, and you revisit it often, you are going to be encouraged, you are going to be motivated, you are going to be strengthened, but even to pursue your goals even more. And when you do that, I want you then to also help someone and share the book with them. Because we are here to help pass it on. But trust me, the formula works. Belief, vision, attitude, performance, results.
Ladies and gentlemen, there's a formula. KFC has a formula that has kept it alive for years. And no matter where you go in the world, KFC is KFC. The Colonel chicken is the Colonel chicken. Wendy's is the Wendy's way. McDonald's is the McDonald's way. When you figure out the formula for success,
yes.
The only thing left after that is execution. Execution.
There you go. And that's the performance side of it. And listen, whether in life or business,
Yep.
if it's your marriage or your relationship,
Yep.
you have to then believe that you can have a great relationship. You have to see that great relationship.
Yep.
Your attitude got to be, I'm going to work on this
Yep.
no matter what it takes. The performance, I'm going to do it every day, in and out. And the results will be hopefully a great marriage, a great relationship.
I love this. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a book you need to get. If you're in the Bahamas, Mr. Jones, how can they get a copy of this book?
As you mentioned at the beginning of your show, the book goes on sale today. Here in Nassau, it's at Book World on Marquis Street. In Grand Bahama, it's at the Bettles Bookstore on the Mall Drive and Breakthrough Bookstore in 8 Mile Rock, my hometown.
Come on.
Right?
The
book will also
be
the book is also going to be available in the Turks and Caicos Islands on tomorrow. Right? It's ready. It's available on Amazon now, Amazon.com. It's available there now.
Yeah. So if you're global anywhere in the world, here in the United States, you can go to Amazon.com. You all know I'm a strong believer. Yeah.
Just type in Maximum Me by Maxwell R. Jones, the paperback or the Kindle, the hardback will be ready in another 2 weeks.
Come on.
The paperback or Kindle is available on Amazon.
Nice. Ladies and gentlemen, my copy is in the mail, and when I get my copy, I am going to make sure that me and Mr. Jones, we're coming back to talk about this because he talks about a formula that I love. You know, it's all about effective living for me, and maximum me is connected to living effectively. I mean, come on, at the end of the day, your goal is to figure out the formula. And he placed it in a book that's going to help you to be able to identify how to win in every area of your life. I love the formula. You know what? What's your closing thoughts, challenging, provoking idea that you would say to our viewing audience? There are people in the Bahamas right now feeling overwhelmed, and you're saying maximum me. Yeah, we're saying maximum me because the truth is, if you can get your mind right, you will get your life right.
There you go. And let me thank you for having me on the show today. I mean, it's been a pleasure. I'm excited.
Yes.
But you say closing thought.
Yep.
Remember, I said to you that I guess I was going to give a different title. The first page of the book says this: life is designed to say yes to all of your dreams. That's the first page of the book. But that will only happen when you have faith and works. Yes. You have to believe it and you have to work at it. Wow. Faith without works is dead. It needs both believe and work. I want to encourage you to believe in your dreams, but also work toward your dream. And by the grace of God, you will have good success. You have a great day.
Man, thank you so much, Mr. Jones. Ladies and gentlemen, you've enjoyed hearing the release, the whole formation on how this book came about. Now it's time for you to tap in and say, you know what, I need a copy. Now you can get Kindle version. You can go to Amazon anywhere in the world and get your copy, paperback. If you're like me, I like the highlight and all that stuff, but I'm learning to go like the millennials. I'm going Kindle, okay? and so go get Kindle if you need to. You could be anywhere in the world and have this book today by Kindle, or you can go be anywhere in the world and get this book on Amazon. I salute you, sir, for taking the time to put pen to paper and placing a plan that's going to help people to bring about the life they desire. You know, it was that helped me because someone did it in their time to make sure, document the process that allowed me to pick up a book that helped me over the years. And so I appreciate the fact that you've done that. We're going to come back again and have a talk on this maximum me. Ladies and gentlemen, Maxwell R. Jones. Thank you, sir, for joining me this morning.
And thank you, Coach. Thank you, family and friends. Thank you, Bahamas. Thank you, America. Thank you, world. God bless.
God bless you guys. Hey, guys, if you're a friend, if you're a family of Mr. Jones, share, tag, and invite someone to go ahead and watch this. But in addition, I'm challenging you today. Let's make today a record-selling day of the book. Go on Amazon.com, get your copy. If you're in the Bahamas, you've heard about the locations. And here's the deal. And then Kindle is something you can have instantly. Okay, so be it as it may, make a commitment to be a reader. If you want to transform your life for the better, make sure you're engaging and getting the information necessary that will help you to become the person that you are destined to be. Mr. Jones, we're going to do this again in the future. Guys, don't forget the lifestyle you promise yourself. Have a
It'll be my pleasure. My pleasure.
Wonderful. Thank you.